And finally, Jaskaran Singh, did you come up with the Gilded Age? You did. And how much did you wager? You wagered 0, which leaves you with 19,300, but you came into this game with 32,400 for a grand total of $51,700. Congratulations, you are our champion. You will take home $250,000. Come get your trophy. Many congratulations.
ਸਵਾਗਤ ਹੈ ਜੀ। ਮੈਂ ਸਮੀਪ ਸਿੰਘ ਗੁਮਟਾਲਾ ਓਹਾਇਓ ਅਮਰੀਕਾ ਤੋਂ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਨਾਲ ਫਿਰ ਤੋਂ ਜੁੜ ਰਹੇ ਹਾਂ। ਅੱਜ ਦੇ ਇਸ ਪ੍ਰੋਗਰਾਮ ਵਿੱਚ ਅਸੀਂ ਇੱਕ ਖਾਸ ਮਹਿਮਾਨ ਜਿਸ ਦੀ ਅਸੀਂ ਕਵਾਂਗੇ ਉਪਲਬਧੀ, ਇੱਕ ਬਹੁਤ ਹੀ ਵੱਡੀ ਉਪਲਬਧੀ, ਪਹਿਲੀ ਵਾਰ ਜਿਸ ਨੇ ਅਸੀਂ ਕਵਾਂਗੇ ਪੂਰੀ ਦੁਨੀਆ ਵਿੱਚ ਪੰਜਾਬੀ ਅਤੇ ਖਾਸ ਕਰਕੇ ਸਿੱਖ ਭਾਈਚਾਰੇ ਤੋਂ ਹੋਣ ਦਾ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਮਾਣ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਸਾਡਾ ਵਧਾਇਆ ਹੈ, ਤੇ ਇੱਕ ਅਸੀਂ ਕਵਾਂਗੇ ਇੱਕ ਨਵੀਂ ਹਿਸਟਰੀ ਵੀ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਕਾਇਮ ਕੀਤੀ ਹੈ, ਇਤਿਹਾਸ ਕਾਇਮ ਕੀਤਾ ਹੈ ਉਸ ਫੀਲਡ ਵਿੱਚ। ਸੋ ਅਸੀਂ ਬਹੁਤ ਹੀ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਮਾਣ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਇੱਕ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਕੰਪੀਟੀਸ਼ਨ ਹੈ, ਪ੍ਰਤੀਯੋਗਿਤਾ ਹੈ ਕਾਲਜ ਲੈਵਲ ਦੀ, ਉਸ ਵਿੱਚ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਹੁਣ ਪਹਿਲਾ ਇਨਾਮ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਹੈ ਉਹ ਕੰਪੀਟੀਸ਼ਨ ਵਿੱਚ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਮਿਲਿਆ ਹੈ। ਤੇ ਬਹੁਤ ਸਾਰੇ ਜਾਣੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਆਲਰੇਡੀ ਹੋ ਸਕਦਾ ਵਾਕਫ ਵੀ ਹੋਵੋ। ਅਸੀਂ ਗੱਲ ਕਰ ਰਹੇ ਹਾਂ ਜਸਕਰਨ ਸਿੰਘ ਦੀ, ਜੋ ਕਿ ਸਾਡੇ ਨਾਲ ਜੁੜ ਰਹੇ ਨੇ ਇਸ ਸਮੇਂ ਆਸਟਿਨ ਟੈਕਸਸ ਤੋਂ, ਯੂਨੀਵਰਸਿਟੀ ਆਫ ਟੈਕਸਸ ਦੇ ਸਟੂਡੈਂਟ ਨੇ। ਤੇ ਆਓ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨਾਲ ਗੱਲਬਾਤ ਕਰਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਕਿ ਕੀ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਉਪਲਬਧੀ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਹੈ, ਜੋ ਕਿ ਅਸੀਂ ਬਹੁਤ ਦੇਖੀ ਹੈ ਅਮਰੀਕਾ ਦੇ ਚੈਨਲ ABC ਤੇ ਹੋਰਨਾਂ ਤੇ ਵੀ ਪਿਛਲੇ ਕੁਝ ਦਿਨਾਂ ਤੋਂ ਸਾਰੇ ਪਾਸੇ, ਜਿਹੜੀ ਸਾਡੀ ਸਿੱਖ ਕਮਿਊਨਿਟੀ ਲਈ ਬੜੀ ਮਾਣ ਵਾਲੀ ਗੱਲ ਹੋਈ ਹੈ। ਤੇ ਆ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨਾਲ ਗੱਲਬਾਤ ਕਰਦੇ ਹਾਂ। ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਫਤਿਹ ਬੁਲਾਉਂਦੇ ਹਾਂ। ਪਿਆਰ ਭਰੀ ਸਤਿ ਸ਼੍ਰੀ ਅਕਾਲ ਤੇ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕਾ ਖਾਲਸਾ, ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕੀ ਫਤਿਹ। ਜਸਕਰਨ ਜੀ।
I'm excited to be on the show and talk with you about my experience as a Sikh and as a student. And
Yeah, Jaskaran, it's an honor to talk with you as well. And I hope that through this program, our younger generation ਤੇ ਨਾਲ ਦੀ ਨਾਲ ਸਾਡੇ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਪੁਰਾਣੇ ਜਨਰੇਸ਼ਨ ਜਿਨ੍ਹਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਬਹੁਤ ਮਾਣ ਹੋਇਆ ਸਾਡੇ ਵੱਡਿਆਂ ਤੇ, ਖਾਸ ਕਰਕੇ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਪੇਰੈਂਟਸ ਐਂਡ ਫੈਮਿਲੀ, ਐਂਡ so they can all watch this and they can learn more about you and what encouraged you and what is the big achievement you have you got now. So ਥੋੜਾ ਜਿਹਾ ਜਸਕਰਨ ਦੱਸਿਓ ਕਿ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਆਪਾਂ ਗੱਲ ਕਰ ਰਹੇ ਹਾਂ, ਜੋ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਇਹ ਜੈਪਰਡੀ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਪ੍ਰੋਗਰਾਮ, ਜਿਹੜਾ ਕੰਪੀਟੀਸ਼ਨ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਜਿੱਤਿਆ ਹੈ, ਇਹ ਕੀ ਹੈ ਰੀਅਲੀ, ਤੇ what is it all about and how you got into it?
Yes, absolutely. So Jeopardy is a general knowledge trivia competition, and it's sort of geared towards a TV audience, right? And it airs every day. And I used to watch it when I was a kid, growing up, maybe 5, 6, 7 years old, and it's something just fun for the family to watch, and obviously people win money from going on it. And so I guess how I got into it, as a kid I always watched it growing up with my parents at the dinner table, and it was sort of like a mental exercise, just fun to see the questions, shout out the answers, and as a kid it was a lot of fun. And I applied once when I was 13 to the show. I did not make it. Obviously I applied recently and I made it, and that was a great experience. I can talk more on the process of, I guess, getting on the show if you want. So initially there's an online test that you have to take where you answer a series of general knowledge trivia questions ranging literature, science, history, pop culture, vocabulary. It can be anything basically. And I took the online test, was invited to a video call audition, a Zoom audition, and they basically see if you're good for TV, if you know the questions, if you know what you're doing. And then after that, 6 months later, I didn't hear from them at all, and then 6 months later, they invited me on the show, and I got to compete and win.
So 13 ਸਾਲ ਦੀ ਉਮਰ 'ਚ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਜਦੋਂ ਦੱਸ ਰਹੇ ਪਹਿਲੀ ਵਾਰ, so that was the first time. So ਇਹ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਕੰਪੀਟੀਸ਼ਨ ਹੈ ਜੈਪਰਡੀ, ਤੁਸੀਂ ਗਿਆ ਕਾਫੀ ਨੌਲੇਜ, ਇਤਿਹਾਸ, ਤੇ you have to learn all the history and other lot of education. You have to like background readings and everything. So overall, how much this is a national championship for all the college students? कि ये सारे college students जितने भी हैं थे, how many of them get selected? Like you said, you got selected. Total कितने होंदे ने बच्चे होते? Participants, sorry.
Hanji, yeah. Total applicants, I think, for the college tournament was 26,000 in the
Wow.
U.S. is from 4,000 different colleges, I think, and 36 people were selected from different colleges around the United States, and I was one of the 36. So it's a pretty selective thing, and I'm really proud to have gone on it.
हाँ जी, हाँ जी, बहुत जी ਇੱਥੇ ਬਹੁਤ ਵੱਡੀ ਅਚੀਵਮੈਂਟ 4000 ਜਿਹੜੇ 26000 ਫਸਟ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਲੋਕ ਫਿਰ 4000 ਕਾਲਜਸ ਤੇ ਫਿਰ ਉਸ ਤੋਂ ਨੈਸ਼ਨਲ ਚੈਂਪੀਅਨ ਜਾਣਾ ਬਹੁਤ ਹੀ ਮਾਣ ਵਾਲੀ ਗੱਲ ਅਸੀਂ ਕਵਾਂਗੇ I mean it's a big achievement not just for your family and but for the ਸਾਰੇ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਸਿੱਖ ਕਮਿਊਨਿਟੀ ਲਈ ਵੀ so ਇਹਦੇ ਕਿੰਨੇ ਕੁ ਰਾਉਂਡ ਹੁੰਦੇ ਨੇ ਲਾਈਕ ਹਾਊ ਡੂ ਯੂ ਸਟਾਰਟ ਜਨਰਲੀ ਐਂਡ what exactly like ਤੁਸੀਂ ਦੱਸਿਆ ਕਿ ਕੁਝ ਪੁੱਛਦੇ ਨੇ ਹਿਸਟਰੀ like any example you can give and but how many rounds total you go through?
Anji. So essentially, there were 36 contestants, and there are 3 rounds of competition. There's quarterfinals, semifinals, and then the finals round. And they ask questions on all type of stuff, so literature, science, history. One of the questions I think I remember was they were talking about a French queen in history who was very uppity and I guess whiny, and she was see all these bad characteristics. And the idea is that you guess the answer based on these clues. So a certain dollar amount is attached to each clue. You guess the answer after buzzing in that of the question that the clue is asking, and then if you get it right, then you get the dollar amount, and if you get it wrong, then you lose that dollar amount.
Yeah, even I was ਮੈਂ ਵੀ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਜਦੋਂ ਤੁਹਾਡਾ ਆਇਆ ਕਿ ਇਸ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਸਾਡਾ ਸਟੂਡੈਂਟ ਇੱਕ ਜਾਂ ਲੜਕਾ ਜਾ ਰਿਹਾ ਤੇ ਮੈਂ ਫਿਰ ਆਪਣੇ ਬੱਚਿਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਵੀ ਪੁੱਛਿਆ ਮੈਂ ਕਿਹਾ ਕਿ ਇਹ ਜੈਪਰਡੀ ਲਾਈਕ ਹਾਊ ਸੋ ਦੇ ਸੈਡ ਦੇ ਪਲੇਡ ਇਨ ਡਿਫਰੈਂਟ ਵੇਜ਼ ਤੇ ਫਿਰ ਇੱਕ ਸਵਾਲ ਮੈਂ ਵੀ ਦੇਖਿਆ ਤੁਹਾਡਾ ਜਦੋਂ ਇੱਕ ਆਇਆ ਸੀ ਤੇ ਜਿਚ ਦ ਬਿਗੇਸਟ ਕੰਟਰੀ ਇਨ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਹੁਣ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਸਾਰਿਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਪਤਾ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਵਾਰ ਸ਼ੁਰੂ ਹੋਈ ਹੈ ਜੰਗ ਉੱਥੇ ਰਸ਼ੀਆ ਦੀ ਤੇ ਉੱਥੇ ਵੀ ਇੱਕ ਸਵਾਲ ਸੀਗਾ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਪਤਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਕੁਆਟਰ ਫਾਈਨਲ ਕਿ ਸੈਮੀ ਫਾਈਨਲ I don't know I'm sure you went through so many questions that said the biggest country in Asia, in Europe, and which is a mix with Asia. ਤੇ ਉਹਦਾ ਸੀਗਾ ਜਵਾਬ Ukraine. Am I right?
Yes, yeah. That's the essence of it. The question was, this is the biggest country in Europe that is entirely in Europe. So because Russia extends into Asia a little, or a lot, I guess, the answer was Ukraine, and we take this in November. So at that time, the Ukraine war obviously was not going on, but yeah, obviously.
Yeah, it's a coincidence. ਮੈਂ ਕਿਉਂਕਿ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਪਿਛਲੇ ਦੇਖ ਰਿਹਾ ਸੀ ਪ੍ਰੋਗਰਾਮ ਤੇ ਫਿਰ ਮੈਂ ਦੇਖਿਆ ਪਰ ਇਸ ਸਮੇਂ ਜਦੋਂ ਆਪਾਂ ਗੱਲ ਕਰ ਰਹੇ ਹਾਂ ਤੇ ਉਸ ਚੀਜ਼ ਨੇ ਜਦੋਂ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਇਟ ਵਾਸ ਜਾਂ ਐਕਸਪੈਕਟਡ ਕਿ ਕੁਝ ਲੜਾਈ ਲੱਗਣ ਵਾਲੀ ਹੈ ਸੋ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਜਿਸ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਦੱਸਿਆ ਕਿ ਚਲੋ ਤੁਹਾਡਾ ਇੰਟਰਸਟ ਬਣਿਆ 13 ਸਾਲ ਦੀ ਉਮਰ 'ਚ but what was it something in the family or is it something from your childhood that you were really interested? Is it something a lot of reading you did? ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਸ਼ੌਂਕ ਸੀ ਪੜ੍ਹਨ ਦਾ books ਪੜ੍ਹਨ ਦਾ? I'm sure you read a lot of books about it too. So is it someone who inspired you?
Yes, it was a lot of reading. I loved to read when I was a kid, and that continues now. I love to read. And my parents watched it when they were kids, and so we would watch it in the house when I was really young, and I loved the show, and it's just a TV show, game show, right? So it was fun to watch during dinner or after dinner, and it was just a fun thing to watch. And having read a lot of stuff, I figured, maybe I could compete. So I tried out when I was 13. I didn't make it then, but I tried out again, obviously recently. I made it then. I think a lot of it is just reading a lot of books. A lot of it is just reading a lot of books, reading a lot of stuff. I also did trivia competitions in high school and in college, so that helped a lot as well.
Okay, well that's nice. ਕੋਈ family ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ parents obviously support ਕਰਦੇ ਨੇ, but anybody else you used I mean ਕਿਸੇ ਹੋਰ ਨੇ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਹੋਰ encourage ਕੀਤਾ ਹੋਵੇ ਜਾਂ community ਵਿੱਚੋਂ, how was like anybody in the family as well?
My parents were the real driving force behind it, especially this past time. They really helped me throughout the process, and um, everything obviously is they share in my success 100%.
So Jaskaran, ਜਦੋਂ ਤੁਸੀਂ obviously ਜਦੋਂ ਕਿ ਤੁਸੀਂ audition and everything, ਅੱਜ ਜਿਸ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਸਾਡੇ youngsters ਨੇ obviously ਤੁਸੀਂ ਦਸਤਾਰ ਸਜਾਉਂਦੇ ਹੋ and we have a different identity. Is it something when you went there, how was the response of the participant? ਸਾਰਿਆਂ ਦਾ ਕਿਸ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਨਾਲ ਰਿਹਾ ਸ਼ੁਰੂ ਵਿੱਚ ਵੀ? How was that? I mean ਕੁਝ ਲੋਕ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਪਤਾ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਸਾਡੇ ਜਦੋਂ ਬੱਚੇ ਵੱਡੇ ਹੁੰਦੇ ਨੇ, I want you to share your, if especially our young community is watching it, what is it you felt when you were standing in front of the camera? ਅਸੀਂ ਕੋਸ਼ਿਸ਼ ਕੀਤੀ, you know, all the different things happening all around the world, especially America. So how was that feeling about?
Yes, I think I was always conscious that I was a Sikh person on TV, and Jeopardy had never previously had a Sikh with a bug and a body and everything. So that was amazing, being one of the first contestants in that respect. And then also, I think I realized later when my dad was talking to me, he was saying, you know, essentially what you had is a 2-hour advertisement for Sikhs in America, right? And so that costs a lot of money otherwise. So I think I'm very glad in what impact I've had on the Sikh community. I'm just thankful that I was able to compete and show out for the Sikh month.
Yeah, Jaskaran, ਜਿਸ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ especially America ਵਿੱਚ, ਕਿਉਂਕਿ ਕਾਫੀ ਲੋਕ ਅਣਜਾਣ ਸਨ, ਹੁਣ ਤੇ ਚਲੋ ਕਾਫੀ, you are saying a lot of efforts have been done, especially Sikhs in America and lot of other community efforts and a lot of service we are doing, Sikhs are doing now. So ਕਾਫੀ ਲੋਕਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਪਤਾ ਲੱਗ ਰਿਹਾ ਹੈ, but still we keep hearing once in a while. But that's a big, our ਜਿਹੜੇ ਸਾਡੇ ਹੁਣ Sikh community ਦੇ ਬੱਚੇ ਨੇ, they are doctors, engineers, and even now they are in the US Army as well. And we all see that, and the turban and beard is something that they need to know more about. And you are exactly right, your dad is exactly right about that you were there. And ਇਸੇ ਕਰਕੇ ਸਾਡੇ ਬੱਚੇ ਨੇ, ਉਹਨਾਂ ਲਈ ਵੀ ਇੱਕ ਬੜਾ ਇੱਕ ਮਾਣ ਵਾਲੀ ਬੜੀ encouragement ਵਾਲਾ ਸਾਈਨ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਟੀਵੀ ਤੇ ਵੀ ਆ ਰਹੇ ਜੇ, and you're standing there with all the confidence and the smile on your face. They will remember that, and ਉਹਦੇ ਲਈ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਬਹੁਤ ਮਿਹਨਤ ਕਰਨੀ ਪਈ. So how many hours you used to spend, especially ਜਦੋਂ competition ਹੋਇਆ ਸ਼ੁਰੂ?
I think a lot of it is reading throughout your life, so it's not particularly studying for the competition. It's about what you've accumulated, all the knowledge throughout your years, right? And what I did practice was buzzing in, because there is an aspect of you have to be the first to buzz in to answer the question. And so I watched a few episodes of Jeopardy previously and tried to buzz in and just sort of practice in that way. There wasn't much more learning that you can do a week before the competition. So I did that for a couple days prior to competing, and I guess it worked out.
So ਜਦੋਂ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਪਹਿਲੀ ਵਾਰ ਆਏ, I mean, is it like regularly you do the recordings, or you come back home and you come and then go back? How was the, like, ਤੁਸੀਂ ਆਪਣੇ community ਦੇ members ਨੂੰ ਮਿਲਦੇ ਹੋਵੋਗੇ ਜਦੋਂ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਮਿਲਦੇ ਸੀ, so how was the response by them?
Oh, so essentially how it worked is I spent 5 days in Los Angeles taping, all in one go. And then the competition is over the 5 days of taping. And then I came back. This was November, around Thanksgiving time. So they had me sign all these contracts and non-disclosure agreements saying that I couldn't talk to anyone, say anything. So even my parents didn't know. I just said I did well. I couldn't tell them anything. So I knew I won in November. I had won and everything, but I couldn't say anything until it aired this Tuesday, I guess, the 22nd. So I had to keep a secret for 3 months.
Oh, ਅੱਛਾ, ਸੋ ਇਹ ਚੀਜ਼ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਹੈ ਕਿਸੇ ਨੂੰ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਦੱਸ ਨਹੀਂ ਸਕਦੇ, ਤੇ ਫਿਰ ਉਸ ਨੂੰ ਬਾਅਦ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਅੱਗੇ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਹੈ ਜਿਸ ਕਰ, ਸੋ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਤੁਹਾਡਾ ਹੋਮ ਟਾਊਨ ਆਬਵੀਅਸਲੀ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਟੈਕਸਸ ਤੋਂ ਹੋ, ਪਰ ਇਸ ਸਮੇਂ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਯੂਨੀਵਰਸਿਟੀ ਆਫ ਟੈਕਸਸ ਪੜ੍ਹਦੇ ਜੇ, ਪਰ ਤੁਹਾਡੀ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਚਾਈਲਡਹੁੱਡ ਜਾਂ ਸਕੂਲ, ਇਫ ਯੂ ਵਾਂਟ ਟੂ ਸ਼ੇਅਰ, ਕਿੱਥੇ ਹੋਇਆ ਅਮਰੀਕਾ ਵਿੱਚ? ਐਂਡ
Yeah, absolutely. So I was born in Cleveland. I lived there for a
Ohio. So I'm in Ohio here as well. So that's great to hear that. I wasn't born here. I was born in India, Amritsar, Punjab. But yeah, great to hear that you're born in our home state right now where I am.
Yeah, absolutely. I was born in Ohio. I'm a big Browns fan, big Cavaliers fan, big fan of all the teams there. And then after that, I moved to Connecticut for a few years. Lived in Connecticut in the Hartford area. Following that, we moved to Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, so right across from Cleveland. And there's a great community there, obviously. And then for the past 10, 11 years, my family and I have been living in Dallas, Texas area, just north of Dallas in a city called Plano.
Okay, so ਤੁਸੀਂ I was reading somewhere that you also ਤੁਸੀਂ ਕਾਫੀ ਕਮਿਊਨਿਟੀ ਦਾ ਕੰਮ ਵੀ ਵਲੰਟੀਅਰ ਕਰਦੇ ਜੇ, ਤੁਸੀਂ ਟੀਚਰ ਵੀ ਜੇ ਇਸ ਗੁਰਦੁਆਰਾ ਸਾਹਿਬ, ਤੁਸੀਂ ਹਾਲੇ ਵੀ ਟੀਚ ਕਰ ਰਹੇ ਜਾਂ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਵੀ ਕਰਦੇ ਸੀ? ਸੋ ਯੂ ਆਰ ਆਈ ਨੋ ਕਿ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਕੈਂਪਸ ਕਾਫੀ ਅਮਰੀਕਾ ਵਿੱਚ, ਸਾਨੂੰ ਪਤਾ ਹੈ ਬਾਹਰਲੇ ਮੁਲਕਾਂ 'ਚ ਖਾਸ ਕਰਕੇ ਬੱਚਿਆਂ ਲਈ ਐਜੂਕੇਸ਼ਨ ਲਈ ਹਰ ਸਾਲ ਖਾਸ ਕਰਕੇ ਗਰਮੀਆਂ ਵਿੱਚ ਬਹੁਤ ਸਾਰੇ ਕੈਂਪ ਲੱਗਦੇ ਨੇ, ਤੇ ਉੱਥੇ ਵੀ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਪਾਰਟਿਸਿਪੇਟ ਕਰਦੇ ਰਹੇ ਜੇ। ਬਟ I was reading somewhere that you also volunteered at school, Gurmat school, or at the gurdwaras as well.
Anji, yes, I did that for a little while at the end of high school and the beginning of college. Unfortunately, being in Austin, obviously I'm a few hours away from the Sikh community in Dallas, and I don't have a car here in Austin, so it's difficult to get to Gurdwara and everything like that. But I was involved in the Sikh community all my life. I competed in the symposium for several years, probably 10, 12 years. So I did that all the way through probably when I was age 20. And I learned a lot through that, met a lot of great members of the community through that. And yes, I attended a bunch of camps. I attended the Siana camp in Ohio. Most recently, I attended the SIKH retreat in Vancouver, Canada. And that was a fantastic experience. And I met a lot of fellow young Sikhs there, and it was a great experience.
ਹਾਂਜੀ, ਇਹ ਤੇ ਐਕਚੁਅਲੀ ਵੀ ਸ਼ੁੱਡ ਬੀ ਥੈਂਕਫੁਲ, ਬਹੁਤ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਧੰਨਵਾਦੀ ਹੋਣਾ ਚਾਹੀਦਾ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਕੈਂਪਸ ਨੇ, ਤੇ ਖਾਸ ਕਰਕੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਦੱਸਿਆ ਜਸਕਰਨ ਸਿੰਪੋਜ਼ੀਅਮ, ਸਿੱਖ ਯੂਥ ਸਿੰਪੋਜ਼ੀਅਮ, ਇੱਕ ਐਸਾ ਹਰ ਸਾਲ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਅਸੀਂ ਕਵਾਂਗੇ, ਅਸੀਂ ਇਹਨੂੰ ਕੰਪੀਟੀਸ਼ਨ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਵਾਂਗੇ, ਬਟ ਇੱਕ ਐਸਾ ਪਲੇਟਫਾਰਮ ਹੈ ਜਿੱਥੇ ਬੱਚਿਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਜਿਸ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਕੁਝ ਸਵਾਲ ਦਿੱਤੇ ਜਾਂਦੇ ਨੇ ਤੇ ਦੇ ਪ੍ਰਿਪੇਅਰ ਹਾਊ ਟੂ ਸਪੀਕ ਐਂਡ ਐਵਰੀਥਿੰਗ, ਐਂਡ ਇਟ ਗਿਵਸ them confidence, ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ confidence ਮਿਲਦਾ ਵਾ ਕਿ ਕਿਸ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਸਾਰਿਆਂ ਸਾਹਮਣੇ ਅੱਗੇ ਜਾ ਕੇ ਅਸੀਂ ਗੱਲ ਕਰਨੀ ਹੈ। ਸੋ ਉਹ ਬਹੁਤ ਸਾਰੇ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਸਾਡੇ ਜਿਨ੍ਹਾਂ ਨੇ ਵੀ ਇਹ ਸ਼ੁਰੂ ਕੀਤੇ ਨੇ, ਉੱਦਮ ਕੀਤਾ ਹੈ, ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦਾ ਬਹੁਤ ਬਹੁਤ ਹੀ ਧੰਨਵਾਦ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਬੱਚਿਆਂ ਨੂੰ, ਤੇ ਇਹਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਖਾਸ ਕਰਕੇ ਪੇਰੈਂਟਸ ਦਾ ਬਹੁਤ ਵੱਡਾ ਹੱਥ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਉਹ ਬੱਚਿਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਲੈ ਕੇ ਜਾਂਦੇ ਨੇ। ਸੋ ਦੇ ਆਲਸੋ ਡਿਜ਼ਰਵ ਦ ਸੇਮ ਅਮਾਊਂਟ। ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਵੀ ਅਸੀਂ ਬਹੁਤ ਥੈਂਕਫੁਲ ਹਾਂ ਕਿ ਉਹ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਬੱਚੇ ਨੇ ਸਾਡੇ ਇਸ ਪਲੇਟਫਾਰਮ ਤੇ ਆ ਰਹੇ ਨੇ, ਐਂਡ ਦ ਰਿਜ਼ਲਟਸ ਇਨ ਫਰੰਟ ਆਫ ਦੈਮ। ਸੋ ਇਹ ਗੱਲ ਮੈਂ ਤਾਂ ਕਹਿ ਰਿਹਾ ਵਾਂ ਕਿ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਫਿਊਚਰ ਪੇਰੈਂਟਸ ਜਾਂ ਜਿਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਬੱਚੇ ਛੋਟੇ ਵੀ ਨੇ, ਉਹਨਾਂ ਲਈ ਇਹ ਬਹੁਤ ਜ਼ਰੂਰੀ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਭਾਵੇਂ ਉਹ ਗਰਮੀਆਂ ਦੀ ਛੁੱਟੀਆਂ ਵਿੱਚ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਹੈ, they take them to the summer camps and everything, where they get a lot of platform to interact with the community kids. So Jaskaran, ਤੁਸੀਂ ਵਾਪਸ ਆਏ ਜਦੋਂ ਹੁਣ, ਤੇ how is the response from obviously ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਜਿਹੜੇ friend ਨੇ ਭਾਵੇਂ Americans all over, how is the response by them, and also how is the response from the Sikh community? Sikh community ਵੱਲੋਂ ਕਿੱਦਾਂ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਲੱਗ ਰਿਹਾ ਹੈ? ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਕਾਫੀ ਲੋਕ calls ਵੀ ਕਰ ਰਹੇ ਹੋਣਗੇ ਜਾਂ how is the response so far?
Yeah, it's been overwhelming from everyone in the community. It's been amazing. I've gotten hundreds of LinkedIn connection requests from all these people, and obviously all these people that across the country that saw it. I'm just so glad to represent the Sikh Month, and I've got a bunch of congratulations messages. And the local Sikh community in Dallas has been fantastic. A lot of people from our Gurdwara were at the watch party that we had on the 22nd for the finals. So it was really great to share that experience with them. And it's been amazing.
Yeah, one of the invite requests you may have gotten on LinkedIn is maybe mine as well. मेरी भी तानु मिली होएगी. So you must be having a long line. So,
It's
so
fun.
I hope you will get some time time to get that. So just Karan, like obviously now you are. I mean, I was reading one of the comment on YouTube as well. Somebody from कोई उन्होंने लिखा, I have played Jaskaran in quiz ball before. Needless to say, it didn't go well. He's one of the best history players, and I am not at all surprised he won. So, I mean, it's not like कई बारी ਹੁੰਦਾ कि चलो कई बारी पंजाबी च ਅਸੀਂ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ तुक्का लग गया. कई बारी I mean, this is a big thing, 4,000 and then per participant, and this is a big achievement. So, what is it, Jaskaran, that you want to share with our ਜਿਹੜੇ ਸਾਡੇ ਗਾਂ youngsters ਨੇ ਭਾਵੇਂ ਤੁਹਾਡੀ ਏਜ ਤੇ ਭਾਵੇਂ ਛੋਟੇ ਵੀ ਨੇ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਹੁਣ they are going to grow up. Obviously you went to school, you go to the school with the star and everything. What is the message for you, even ਜਿਹੜੇ ਦਸਤਾਰ ਨਹੀਂ ਵੀ ਬੰਨਦੇ, ਚਲੋ ਨਹੀਂ ਵੀ ਹੈ, ਉਹਨਾਂ ਲਈ ਕੀ ਮੈਸੇਜ ਹੈ ਤੁਹਾਡਾ ਕਿ what is that the message they take, that here is this person, Jaskaran Singh, who went to the national championship, won for the first time, Sikh, as a Sikh as well. What is the message you have for them?
Yeah, I think as a Sikh, I guess representing the community, sometimes I think Sikh kids, especially with this thought, and I guess without this thought as well, there is a feeling that perhaps you stick out, and it's a bad thing. But I would encourage you to think about it as you stand out, right? It makes you unique, and I think people remember you. People always remember you. People will remember the impression that you made on them, good or bad. So it's always important to represent the Sikh community in a positive light, because you're not just representing yourself, you're representing everyone else in the community. And I think I'm just glad to have done something that I know will help Sikhs in America gain recognition, help people learn about Sikhi, and I'm just so proud of the Sikh community. I'm so happy that they all got behind me and everything. And I would encourage young Sikhs out there to just be confident in who you are, and you can do anything you want, right? I mean, I was on American television. That's that's a milestone that I'm glad to have achieved. And don't ever think you can't do anything because you're a Sikh. You can always do everything because you're a Sikh.
So to see you are doing currently to see University of Texas in Austin. So you are a senior finance and economics student. So you're doing undergrad over there right now?
Yes. So this is currently my last semester. I'm double majoring in finance and economics at UT Austin. And after I graduate this semester in May, I'll be taking a little break during the summer, and then I'll be working with Boston Consulting Group in Dallas in the fall. And I'm very much looking forward to starting that job and everything. Obviously, enjoying the last 3 months of college here, but I'm glad. I'm just happy that my college career has ended in the way that it has, and I'm glad to get started with my job.
So eventually, you want to go into finance and be a big finance.
I guess be a consultant.
Yeah, no, very good luck. You are finishing up your last semester, so you got this prize money, which is a big money. I know. I read somewhere you said actually it was on Jeopardy interviews. You said that you're going to use that sum for college, obviously, and I hope it will be good start for you to start your career अपना ਅੱਗੇ ਜਾ ਕੇ profession ਵਿੱਚ ਜੋ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਕਰਨਾ ਚਾਹੁੰਦੇ ਜੇ ਉਸ ਵਿੱਚ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਇਹ ਜ਼ਰੂਰ help ਕਰੇਗਾ. Is your like something about your parents? We wish they could have joined you, but is your parents also in education? What profession they are? They're in business, or they're engineers or something, or they are in business?
So they're both in medicine. My dad's a cardiologist in Dallas, and my mom works with him as a physician's assistant. I just sort of wanted to do business because it was something that caught my eye when I was in high school, and then I ran with it through college. but yeah, I think the money I'll definitely find a way to spend that wisely. Definitely going to donate a portion, obviously, to organizations that I think deserve it, and yeah, I'll definitely have to pay for tuition, and then also I need a car, right? I don't have a car right now.
Yeah.
Some necessary purchases.
ਯਾ ਮੈਂ ਇਸ ਕਰਕੇ ਪੁੱਛਿਆ ਕਿ ਦੇਖੋ ਅਸੀਂ ਖਾਸ ਕਰਕੇ ਜਦੋਂ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਤਾਂ ਯਾਦ ਜਦੋਂ ਅਸੀਂ ਪੰਜਾਬ ਸੀਗੇ ਤੇ ਹਰ ਪੇਰੈਂਟਸ ਨੂੰ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਜੇ ਕੋਈ ਇੰਜੀਨੀਅਰ ਡਾਕਟਰ ਹੋਵੇ ਉਹ ਚਾਹੁੰਦਾ ਮੇਰਾ ਬੱਚਾ ਵੀ ਡਾਕਟਰ ਬਣੇ ਉਹ ਵੀ ਇੰਜੀਨੀਅਰ ਬਣੇ that something is not over here very much ਬਾਹਰਲੇ ਮੁਲਕਾਂ 'ਚ but since your parents were in medicine you never thought about or they never expected ਜਾਂ ਕਿਸ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਕਿ ਹਾਂ ਵੀ ਸਾਡਾ ਬੱਚਾ ਵੀ ਮੈਡੀਸਨ ਵਿੱਚ ਜਾਵੇ so that's
Never
a
pushed me,
sign
right?
where the kids should be encouraged to allow ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਉਹ ਕਰਨਾ ਚਾਹੀਦਾ ਜੋ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਚੰਗਾ ਲੱਗਦਾ ਹੈ ਤਾਂ ਜੋ ਅੱਗੇ ਆਪਣੇ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਹੈ ਮਨਪਸੰਦ ਦਾ ਕਿੱਤਾ ਹੈ ਜਾਂ ਜੋ ਵੀ profession ਹੈ ਉਹ choose ਕਰ ਸਕਣ so ਬੜਾ ਚੰਗਾ ਲੱਗਾ ਕਿ you were encouraged by the parents as well anybody anything else you want to share as well any unique experience during the competition that will be an unforgettable memory for you koi anything unique I know kafi cheezan hoiyan hongiyan but anything you want to share during that time were you asked some questions even during the competition as well who you are because har bachche nu puchde ne or anything else you want to share which you experience
I just am so glad about the support that I've received from the Sikh community after having competed. I mean, it's been overwhelming. It's nothing like I'd ever imagined. And I mean, so many people have reached out. If you've reached out and I haven't gotten back to you, it's not because I didn't see it. It's just, or it's not because I didn't want to respond. It's just because the response has been amazing from the Sikh community. And I'm just so proud to have gone on Jeopardy, done well, and represented the month.
but program ਉਹਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ during the competition any unforgettable moment or anywhere you felt like oh Jaskaran ਅੱਜ ਤੇ ਲੱਗਦਾ ਹੁਣ I will be out now or I won't be able to do anything you felt during that because ਜਦੋਂ ਕੋਈ answer ਲਿਖਣਾ I know you said sometimes the price ਜਦੋਂ dollar amount ਲਿਖਣੀ ਹੁੰਦੀ ਹੈ $0 and all at some moment you felt okay no I think I'm out or something or no you were very confident no I'm going to win every time
no, I wasn't confident the whole time. I think when I won, it finally set in when I was doing the math and the wager in the finals for the final Jeopardy, and I was like, oh, I can just bet $0 and then I'll still win, and that's when it really set in, and I was just smiling ear to ear. I was really, really happy. It was a surreal experience. It was an amazing time, and they had the host come out, give me a hug, they gave me a trophy. It was amazing. It was an amazing moment when I finally realized that I won.
yeah ਸਾਡੇ youngsters ਲਈ ਵੀ ਬੜਾ ਵਧੀਆ ਮੈਸੇਜ ਹੈ you mentioned ਦਸਵੰਧ ਸਾਰਿਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਕੱਢਣਾ ਚਾਹੀਦਾ ਹੈ so you mentioned that you're going to donate part of your winning amount ਜਿਹੜੀ ਹੈ and for that so that's a good message as well so ਸਾਰੇ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਸਾਡੇ youngsters ਨੇ ਉਹ ਵੀ ਇਸ ਗੱਲ ਵੱਲ ਖਾਸ ਧਿਆਨ ਰੱਖਣ ਕਿ ਬਹੁਤ ਜ਼ਰੂਰੀ ਹੈ ਕਿ we donate some part of our income as well not just ਪੈਸਾ ਜਿਹਦੇ ਕੋਲ ਪੈਸਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੈ they should donate some time of their life as well ਜਾਂ ਜਿਸ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਵੀ ਸੇਵਾ ਕਰ ਸਕੋ ਤੇ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਜ਼ਰੂਰ ਕਰਨੀ ਚਾਹੀਦੀ ਹੈ so Jaskaran any other message before we end for our community or anybody and ਭਾਵੇਂ youth ਹੋਵੇ ਭਾਵੇਂ ਵੱਡਿਆਂ ਲਈ any other message you want to share with us through this program
Yeah, I think one last thing just I'd like to reiterate is that don't think you can't do anything because you're a Sikh or anything. In fact, breaking barriers is something that our community has done for a long time. And so don't ever let that stop you from wanting to try something that maybe traditionally, Punjabi people or Sikh people have not done. Like I guess go on television or write a book or whatever it may be. I think you should always pursue whatever you want and do it to the fullest. Give it all your effort. And I think essentially don't let the barriers discourage you from doing something because you were sick. It's because you were sick that you can break these barriers. So I just like to share that message for the last.
ਬਹੁਤ ਵਧੀਆ ਜੀ, ਬਹੁਤ ਸੋ ਸਾਰਿਆਂ ਲਈ ਇਹ ਮੈਸੇਜ ਖਾਸ ਕਰਕੇ ਸਾਡੀ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਯੂਥ ਨੇ, ਨੌਜਵਾਨ who are especially going in school, high school, ਫਿਰ college, that don't feel that you are any inferior, don't feel that ਕਿ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਵੱਖਰੇ ਜੇ ਜਾਂ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਕੋਈ ਪ੍ਰੋਬਲਮ ਆਏਗੀ ਜਾਂ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਨਾਲ ਕੋਈ ਡਿਸਕ੍ਰਿਮੀਨੇਸ਼ਨ ਹੋ ਰਹੀ ਹੈ. if somebody is doing it, please stand for it. And ਪੂਰਾ ਜਿਸ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਜਸਕਰਨ ਨੇ ਦੱਸਿਆ, ਸਾਡਾ ਇੱਕ ਜਸਕਰਨ ਇੱਕ ਐਗਜ਼ਾਮਪਲ ਹੈ ਜੋ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਸੈੱਟ ਕੀਤਾ ਹੈ, ਤੇ ਉਮੀਦ ਕਰਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਕਿ ਭਵਿੱਖ ਵਿੱਚ ਸਾਡੇ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਹੋਰ ਨੌਜਵਾਨ ਨੇ, ਸਾਡੇ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਹੋਰ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਸਾਡਾ ਯੂਥ ਹੈ, ਉਹ ਇਸੇ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਕੋਸ਼ਿਸ਼ ਕਰੇਗਾ, ਮਿਹਨਤ ਕਰਕੇ। ਅਸੀਂ ਖਾਸ ਕਰਕੇ ਸਿੱਖ ਭਾਈਚਾਰੇ ਨੇ, ਪੰਜਾਬੀ ਭਾਈਚਾਰੇ ਨੇ ਵਿਦੇਸ਼ ਵਿੱਚ ਬਹੁਤ ਹੀ ਮੱਲਾਂ ਮਾਰੀਆਂ ਨੇ, ਖਾਸ ਕਰਕੇ ਅਸੀਂ ਕਹਾਂਗੇ ਅਮਰੀਕਾ, ਕੈਨੇਡਾ ਵਿੱਚ ਵੀ, ਭਾਵੇਂ ਉਹ ਪੋਲੀਟਿਕਸ ਹੋਵੇ, ਭਾਵੇਂ ਉਹ ਕੋਈ ਵੀ ਪਲੇਟਫਾਰਮ ਹੋਵੇ। ਸੋ ਇਸੇ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਉਮੀਦ ਕਰਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਕਿ ਜਸਕਰਨ ਦਾ ਇੱਕ ਐਗਜ਼ਾਮਪਲ ਇਸ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਜੈਪਰਡੀ ਜਾਂ ਕੋਈ ਹੋਰ ਵੀ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਟੂਰਨਾਮੈਂਟ ਹੋਣਗੇ, ਭਾਵੇਂ ਉਹ ਸਪੀਚ ਤੇ ਹੋਣ। I know Jaskaran, there is a lot of speech and debate competitions are also held all over the US, a lot of that. Is it something like that you also thought about previously, or you said you participate in a lot of symposium speaking as well, doing speeches? Is it something that you also were involved with or thought about doing during your school days?
Yeah, briefly in middle school and high school, I competed in debate. There's actually another Sikh kid who did very well in debate. I think he won like one of the national championships. I forget. I think his name is JJ Kapoor. I don't know what his full first name is, but yeah, he did well. So he's the person to talk to about that stuff.
Yeah, I know there is another high school child from Ohio, ek hai, jo ki he's in the final now for the national speech and debate for the school competition.
Yeah.
So his name is Jasjeev Singh as well. So we hope, we wish him all the best as well. Jekite program dekhega te his family as well, that he also wins the national speech and debate competition. So Jaskaran, ਬਹੁਤ ਬਹੁਤ ਧੰਨਵਾਦ ਤੁਹਾਡਾ ਸਮਾਂ ਦੇਣ ਲਈ, ਤੇ ਸਾਰਿਆਂ ਨਾਲ ਆਪਣੀ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਇਨਫੋਰਮੇਸ਼ਨ, ਜਾਣਕਾਰੀ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਹੈ ਸਾਂਝੀ ਕਰਨ ਲਈ। I think this will encourage and this will give a lot of information to our young community as well, who wish to participate at such platforms as well. ਤੇ ਭਾਵੇਂ ਇਹੀ ਪਲੇਟਫਾਰਮ ਨਹੀਂ, ਜਾਂ ਹੋਰ ਵੀ ਜਗ੍ਹਾ ਜਿਹੜੀਆਂ, ਹੋਰ ਵੀ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਕੰਪੀਟੀਸ਼ਨ ਜਾਂ ਹੋਰ ਵੀ ਕੋਈ ਪ੍ਰੋਫੈਸ਼ਨ ਹੈ, they can be in there as well without any problem with the identity or the color. Just ਦਸਤਾਰ ਦੀ ਗੱਲ ਨਹੀਂ, ਕਈ ਵਾਰ ਕਲਰ ਦੇ ਬੇਸ ਤੇ ਵੀ ਕਾਫੀ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਲੱਗਦਾ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਅਸੀਂ ਡਿਫਰੈਂਟ ਹੈ। But we again congratulate you and wish you all the best for your future, and hope to see you more winning such competitions and maybe in your profession as well. Thank you very much. ਤੁਹਾਡਾ ਬਹੁਤ ਬਹੁਤ ਧੰਨਵਾਦ ਸਮਾਂ ਕੱਢਣ ਲਈ ਤੇ ਗੱਲਬਾਤ ਕਰਨ ਲਈ। ਆਓ ਫਤਿਹ ਸਾਂਝੀ ਕਰੀਏ। ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕਾ ਖਾਲਸਾ, ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕੀ ਫਤਿਹ।